Hello, my name is Jeff, and this is where I write. Well, hello there. Old Man Kelly here. This is my second episode of Movie Magic, where I'm documenting my attempt to make a short film, and I thought today I would show you how I write my short films. My working environment, what goes through my head. This is where the magic happens. And this is the way I usually look. I haven't showered. I haven't even combed my hair yet. I'm wearing the t-shirt I slept in last night. I got sweats on. This is how I work. This microphone is here for my podcast, which I'm not doing right now, so I'll move that out of the way. Table's a mess. I'm not going to show you all the table. There's candy wrappers, there's papers, mail, there's stacks of CDs everywhere, DVDs I should say. That's why I don't have company too often, because this is the living room. Luckily I have a wife who understands. I'd like to set up an office. I've toyed with the idea for a while, but haven't yet. So first let me talk about my writing process, how I do this. So first I wake up between 4:30 and 5 a.m. Most of the time it's still dark out. Sometimes the sun is just rising. I never use an alarm. I haven't used an alarm clock in 30 some years. I used to use one when I worked a night job, and I used to work from midnight to 8 in the morning because, for obvious reasons. But I'm a morning person. I love the morning. I love to get up before the sun. So I get up, come over here, hit the button in the back of my Mac to turn it on, go in the kitchen, let the dogs out in the backyard so they can do their thing, get the coffee started, let the dogs back in, come back in here, fire up the program. I use a program called Celtx, C-E-L-T-X. You tell me how to pronounce it. It's a free one from the web. It's a really, for a free program, it's a really good script writing program. And then I start to write, and then I hear my coffee beep, which means it's ready. I go and get a cup, and I begin to work. Now, I admit this is sort of an awkward situation. You know, screen to my left, and I'd eventually like to set up an office, but I like being out here because I like the TV to go as I write. And I'll usually turn on like an old movie, some movie that from Turner Classic Movies, or sometimes it's The Simpsons or something like that. Something where I know it well enough where it's in the background, and I don't know why it helps me write, but I like it, but something I don't have to focus on or concentrate on. So that's how I work, and my usual process is I have a vague idea in my head and I just start to write. And I don't know if you're a writer out there or a creative person at all, and I know this is going to sound weird, but a lot of people talk about this, but there is some sort of a weird, it's hard to explain, a zone when you get going. I've come with just the vaguest of ideas and started typing away, and then the next thing I know I've written 10 pages and I don't know where those pages came from. I've gotten characters and situations that were not even in my head when I sat down, and they just float out to the page. So usually I write my first version of the script almost straight through. I might go back, like I might write half one day, the next day go back and change a few things and finish it up, but I don't know where the stuff comes from. I really don't. So in the last couple years, I've pretty much shot what I initially wrote, that first draft. I mean, there were minor changes I went through, and I'll add jokes or situations that pop up in my head later, but the basic script was my original version. The problem with that I found out, especially last year, is my scripts get too long. Because I want everything in there. I want, character development, I want plots, I want more than one character, blah, blah, blah. And ideally, I would keep my script to under 20 minutes. That's my goal. So this year, I made a vow to get my script. When you write a script, you think about every page is 1 minute if it's formatted correctly. So basically what I'm saying is I got to keep my script under 20 pages, which is tough. It's a lot harder to do that than just write a 30-minute thing, because I write scenes that I love, but it's like, God, I really have to cut that scene because I need to keep it under a certain length. And that's the problem. My first version of this script was probably 25 pages. And it was too long. And then I realized, too, that my central character, this girl, who's now called Peggy in my story, I've switched her name like 6 times. She was more of a... She was more just there. I don't know how to describe it. Everything was happening around her, and she just sort of went along with what was happening. And I thought, I need to change. I need to make her an active participant in the story. And it sounds weird, but you see this in a lot in movies where the central character is more or less just going along with whatever's happening. And anyway, so I thought, well, I got to do something. I want this character. I like this character I wrote. I want there to be a reason why she's there for her and for the story. So I started rewriting it again. And again, it was a bit too long. Some of the ideas, I'm trying to keep some scenes in that I loved from earlier drafts, but they don't seem to work in this draft. But I don't want to cut them because I love those scenes. And I've got... Anyway, it's coming along. I'm on my 8th version right now. So, anyway, I've rambled on too long. Later today, I'm going to work on my lighting, like I told you last week, or whenever that was, 2 weeks ago. And if anybody out there would like to read my script and tell me what's wrong with it, I would appreciate it. But just email me at coffeewithjeff@gmail.com. And that's another episode of Making Magic, my attempt to make a short film. Hopefully it won't be too much longer till we're actually on set, which would be nice. All right, I don't know if I'll post a second one of my lights today or if I'll wait till next week to do that. We'll find out. Anyway, thanks for watching.